Hi, my name is Colin.
And I'm Nick. Today we're going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Coming up next. So Deadpool and Wolverine is the third Deadpool movie in the Deadpool series, and it is the first Deadpool movie with him in the MCU. So Deadpool is getting his friend Wolverine from his universe, but twist, it's a Wolverine from another universe, and he's trying to save his universe because his anchor being is dead. And that's pretty much the whole story of the movie. So Nick, give me some of your thoughts.
Yeah, I think my first thought comes in with that story of this movie. It's kind of nothing.
It's kind of not there.
Yeah, this movie, to me, more than a lot of other Marvel movies, I know they've been compared to kind of like amusement park rides in the past by like a lot more art-driven filmmakers. This one, I really feel it.
Yeah.
I walked out of this movie, I'm like, I have no idea what the hell just happened, but it was cool.
No, I completely agree with that. I am a #1 Marvel defender. I will defend all of their movies. This one was just such an experience, and that's about it. It felt like a roller coaster, like you said, an amusement park ride. It was so fun for me. But yeah, the story is really where the movie lacks as a whole. There's so many surprises, there's so many spectacles, set pieces, everything that you want in a Marvel movie, but that story, again, is just kind of non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, to anyone watching, Colin is a huge Deadpool fan. You want to show him your shirt?
Yeah, I got the shirt on. I actually got this at Regal from the Deadpool 3 premiere.
We love that. We love that here. We love Regal here at Review Crew. But yeah, this movie, you talk about the set pieces.
Yeah.
And those set pieces are cool. There are a lot of really cool ones. There's the long take at the end with Deadpool and Wolverine fighting the Deadpool Corps. What else is there? There's
the TVA's whole set pieces, everything they made there,
Yeah.
really impressed me because that was fully practical.
Yes.
I saw all these behind the scenes photos. They fully made that TVA office, which I think was so cool and was also why Loki worked so well, because that TVA office was so unique, and they put that in this movie, and again was unique and fresh there.
I agree. It makes me think of what's kind of been lost with a lot of these Marvel movies. For example, I was watching Ant-Man the other day with my buddy Truman, and we were looking at the suit that he wears in that movie and how it's practical, and everything in that movie just looks so good because a lot of it is practical. And I think this movie did bring some of that back.
Yeah.
There's definitely still a lot of CGI stuff, and I think it's dicey.
You can tell what's CGI.
Yeah, which is if you can tell what's CGI, that's not necessarily a problem, but some of it looks kind of bad. There's this one shot where Wolverine jumps out of this bus, and he just looks like, he looks like not real.
Right, yeah, I saw you just kind of float in there like a video game character. Yeah.
Up and down like this. But one thing I really want to touch on with this movie, what I think carries the whole thing, honestly. Say the story isn't really there, whatever. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Yes, their chemistry.
They have so much chemistry.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. No wonder Ryan Reynolds was able to get him to come back, because you can tell that they're such good friends on screen. Even though they're kind of frenemies for most of the movie, you can so see. No,
yeah, I fully agree with that. That's what I thought about this whole film, is that it was just a bunch of friends making a movie together, which comes through on the screen, and it's kind of contagious. That makes it part of the good time you're having when you're watching this. Their chemistry is so good. You get they're also great friends with Sean Levy, the director, and you can just really tell with everything, and the some of the cameos, they're also really good friends with them. It all just shows on the screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on some of the cameos, you want to get into that. Some of the cameos we had, I really thought Chris Evans playing Johnny Storm was super cool in the movie, because there's the misdirection where you think he's going to be Captain America, but then he's like, flame on. And that was just so...
That was super cool, and there's other cameos in the little group that they form from the older legacy Marvel movies, which I really appreciated. So I also feel this movie was such a love letter to older Marvel before the MCU, and so you had Blade in there, and you had Channing Tatum as Gambit, which was crazy for me because he got casted in the role and then they never made the movie. So it was like such like a dream come true for him, and it was just crazy to really see that on screen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know there was something where they like, I think it was a deleted scene that they posted on Twitter a couple weeks after the movie came out that was like, showed Gambit getting out of the, I don't know what you call it.
Like a portal thing?
Yeah, they getting out of like the Reject Club, the Reject universe.
Yeah.
And coming into like a real actual universe. So they're maybe trying to like...
Maybe little tidbits for a little something down the road.
Little something. But let's talk about, I know Deadpool movies, a lot of these are judged very strictly on Deadpool's like comedy and how he breaks the fourth wall and uses that to like make jokes throughout the movie, because ultimately these movies are very, very comedy driven.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I want to know how funny you thought this one was, and especially like in relation to the other Deadpools.
I think this one was extremely funny.
Yeah.
And like, again, that goes back to the chemistry that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds have. But then I'm also just such a big Ryan Reynolds fan, where it's like a lot of things he does I'm just going to think are funny because I like Ryan Reynolds. So I'm kind of biased, but I do think this was the funniest MCU movie by far. I was laughing my butt off in that theater. And again, like the theater experience that I had was with so many fans. It was on the preview day, so that also will probably influence my score a little bit.
You see, I had kind of the opposite experience. And we talked about this after we'd both seen the movie. I think I saw it a week after, and I saw it with one of my friends who I think saw like Infinity War and Endgame.
Okay.
And like, that's it. So he didn't really know any of those like deeper cut references that this movie's like second act is so heavily based on. And I thought it was so interesting to see that it like from his perspective, because like I know that Gambit was cast in this movie and it never got made.
Yeah.
But like when they do like an epic slow motion entrance for Channing Tatum Gambit, it's like
the general audience is just confused.
Yeah, he's just like on his phone.
Right.
So yeah, but he said like ultimately I think this is a good movie for general audiences still. I'm kind of surprised almost how well they're resonating with it, with how much it's like built off of pre-existing stuff. Yeah, considering how well this movie's doing with general audiences, I definitely think it deserves to be... I think it's the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time now.
Wow.
Which is crazy. So all that considered, everything we've said here, Colin, what would you give Deadpool and Wolverine?
Well, you know, as we know, I had so much fun with the movie. Crazy cameos, crazy set pieces, but it did have some major flaws, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
All right, awesome. So I definitely, I feel like I didn't take too much away from the movie, but I do think it was super fun. It was a great time, worthwhile way to spend 2 hours on a Saturday afternoon. I'm going to give the movie a 7 out of 10. And movie fans, thanks for watching Review Crew. We'll see you next time.